People ask me all the time, how do you scale? A lot of times the business models that I have found, at some point, people can't grow with you. They got to leave if they want to grow. And I've always been trying to level up and offer an opportunity for everyone so that we can grow together. And so what does that look like? What happens when a barber is booked and making six figures or high six figure income? They might feel the necessity to open their own shop. For me, in order to scale, you have to have great people with you. But even in a corporation setting, people will leave after they've outgrown, which is fine. But at some point, people want to get to a point where they don't have to cut hair no more for money. They can make money in their sleep. People are working hard to get towards a specific point in their life. Ultimately, as a servant leader, you got to find out what that looks like for somebody, and you need to be able to give them answers and support them and guide them there. That's what servant leadership is. And the more you learn, the more you accomplish, the more you experience, typically the better of a leader you become. How do I continue to keep people on my team and grow together? To me, there's nothing more fulfilling than seeing people getting to the top together. Seeing people who started with you at Arby's when you were at fast food restaurants, growing and scaling and still with you today and doing better than ever. And having 20 of those people on your team that are doing it like that. There's nothing more fulfilling. But what does that look like? So you got to figure that out, right? Imagine you have a scalable system. Like a lot of barbers are hip on this idea. I charge 100, I charge 150, I charge 80, I charge 200. That's cool. And I'm telling you right now, I've had people in my mentorship program that are charging 60, 70, $80 a haircut and making $4,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $6,000 a month. That's not good, guys. That means that you're more worried about how much you charge per haircut versus your bottom line. Because if you can make $120,000 a year, live on 60 and invest the other 60, I can teach you to be rich in 5 to 10 years. This whole idea of six figures, it isn't something that's glorified. It's a standard that's set. And I'll tell you why. If I can teach people how to make money and do it in a way where they're not breaking their back and they're not exhausted. Let's say that number is 40 haircuts a week. 40 haircuts a week and you can be at six figures. And this is net. What's next, guys? People are going to quickly realize your problem wasn't how much money you were making. First off, you don't know what you want, so you got to figure that part out. And then you need some vision beyond money. And so 40 haircuts a week, that's cool. But what if we can get you to $300K a year on 40 haircuts a week because you're investing your money in the right place, right? Let's say that you want to open a barbershop, and now we can open up barbershops and we partner up together. There's I think 4 or 5 barbers that are now managing our barbershops, and we're trying to grow them. We're trying to grow them. So we're scaling with barbershops. We're opening 3 locations in the next year because in my eyes, a bigger pie is better than just getting a piece of something small. So now you're making $200-300K a year. What's next? Well, most people go and they start investing. If you're not already investing here, which you should be, they're definitely going to be investing here. They can either figure that out on their own, or I'm already buying commercial real estate. I'm already opening businesses that are diversified and outside of barbering. I'm already doing all that stuff. Could I scale that faster if I had 10 barbers on my team that were able to save $100,000 in their account? We can pull that money together and start buying apartment complexes, start buying warehousing, restaurants if you want to do restaurants. I used to run restaurants, so I know the business, bars, etc. Right? This is just the beginning in my eyes, and we can do much bigger things as a team. And so if the vision is this, then it's a lot more exciting and a lot more motivating to do 80 haircuts a week, because it's possible. Now I can charge whatever the hell I want to do hair. I could do 10 haircuts a week. I could do 5 haircuts a week. I can cut hair just because I like to do it. It's much slower to do this by yourself. That's why it's so important to build a team. The more people that you help become successful, the more successful you will become. You're teaching people, for example, in order to get to 6 figures, you got to charge $80, $100, $50, $60. Is it really that scalable? But if you can teach anyone how to make six figures on 40 haircuts a week in any market and do it, and there's a system to follow, and you could do it in 6 months or less, right? Guys, it's like a well-oiled machine. I can do this over and over again. I can hire 60 barbers, teach them how to do this. And I do it now in the city of Tampa. I teach people how to do this, bro. and the city of Tampa, we're seeing it over and over and over again. Okay, but what's the next step? We got to scale our business. Not because I want to open more barbershops. I don't want to open more barbershops because it creates more opportunities for the guys that are growing with us. Right now, I got Airbnbs. We're doing commercial real estate. We're doing businesses, right? Right now, we're doing this stuff. And I'm doing it on my own and with the owners of Headlines, right? I'm doing it with them. But at some point, we're going to have 30 barbers that are making 6 figures, that have $100K in the bank saved up, that are going to be asking, yo, what's next? What do I do? Just plug yourself in. It's your choice whether you want to do this. It's your choice whether you want to do this. It's your choice whether you want to do this. There are some barbers that don't want to do this, and that's fine. But if you want to do this, I need you to do this. I need you to do this. I need you to do this. And guess what? The time to start putting in work is right now, guys. It's not when the recession hits and business slows down. It is right now. You need to start setting yourself up for success. You need to start grinding because you want to be in a position when in a year, in 2 years, I don't know when this recession thing is happening. A lot of people think it's going to happen in the next six months to a year. But the question is, are you bankable? Are you prepared? Because the guys who are going to win are the ones who remain bankable no matter what's going on in the economy. Because here's what happens when a recession happens. Banks get strict. They stop lending to people. You got to be the cream of the crop. You got to have money in the bank. You got to have assets. You got to have cash flow. You better have all your ducks in a row. But if you missed out in 08, 09, 2010, 2011, 2012, and you're not ready for this one, you're going to miss out on this one too. Y'all wildin'. Start getting prepared. If you're not motivated now, I don't know what to tell you, man. You got to start grinding. You got to start building your clientele. Guys, it takes one client a day. That's it. Lock in one client a day. If your average customer comes in every 3 weeks, that's 17 visits a year. Let me show y'all. If you can get one client a day, and in the next 150 days, you got 150 clients. Let's do the multiplication there. That's 2,550 haircuts. Let's say your average ticket. Let's say you charge $30 for a haircut. On average, they tip you $5-10, but you also have haircut and beard. You also have some extra added services. So your average is $40. That's $102,000. What if you start selling product and your average ticket goes from 40? That's doable for anyone in any market if you have a system in place, if you do it the right way. The guy who is 50% booked, who raises his prices by $10, $20 or whatever, he's going to get to 60% booked after a year, because new customers, new clients from new areas might get sticker shock. You're putting friction before somebody can even try your product out. In 2 years, you might be 80% booked. Now you might get to $60. No, you should be able to get $60 in 1 year. In 1 year. You know why? Because your prices are right. Your prices are the market rate. And so at the market rate, there's no friction. Before you know it, you are booked 90%, 6 months to a year in. This is what people are doing right now that I see left and right, where this is the smarter, the smaller, the bigger picture move. And it's not just putting in the work. If you got the wrong plan, if you're on the wrong ship that has some holes in it, I don't care how hard you row, you're going to sink. It's not just putting in the work. You got to work smart and hard. You got to work hard and work smart, especially with a recession coming right around the corner. I'm telling you right now, the guys who have prematurely raised their prices because they know their worth, right? Who are not booked and prematurely raise their prices, when the recession hits, okay, this is what's going to happen. 50% booked, prematurely raise their prices. They're going to lose 20% of their clients. Once the recession hits, guess what? Now they're 30% booked at $60. It's going to be a long, painful road building this back up. The guy who was 90% booked, who got his price up to $60 because he did it because demand told him he was worth more. Recession hits, he loses 20% of his clients. He's still making 6 figures. He's still able to pay his bills. He's still able to build wealth. This guy is like, damn, I took a hit. I guess it's time to rebuild. This guy's like, yo, I took a hit, but I guess this is the transfer of wealth. This is where I start buying cars, real estate, whatever it is, whatever, stocks, businesses, barbershops. There's going to be barbershops for sale at pennies of the dollar. You want to open up a shop? This is what you do. This is the opportunity I'm trying to be in, not this one. This one takes patience, some vision, a roadmap, and stop listening to the noise, man. Stop listening to the noise. Guys, I've been through a recession already. I'm telling you, a lot of people do not understand what being actually booked is. That's for sure. And when I say that, they be like, what do you mean? What do you mean? That's like, I can't explain that, bro. And just because you booked at $30 doesn't mean you're booked. To me, being booked is being booked at your full potential. So if you're booked at $30, that was just a milestone you hit towards getting booked. Now it's time to raise your prices, push it again. Once you get booked there, if you get booked there really quickly, raise your prices again, push it again. If you start raising your prices to a point where you can't get back to 80-90% booked, you're probably right where you need to be. You've kept a lot of your clientele. You might have lost 5%, 10% of your clients. You're probably right where you need to be. I would say, yeah, 5 days out. I would say a week. I would say even a week. And it's not just 1 week. It's several weeks. Some guys hit that milestone and they're like, oh, it's time to raise their prices. Well, it could have been a fluke. Could have been a concert in the area. Could have been graduation. Could have been something that you didn't realize was happening. It could have been a fluke. Make sure it's 3 weeks to a month consistently that you're booked. Shoot, the longer you wait, the safer it's going to be. The longer you wait, the more you can raise your prices. So you might have been thinking $5, I'm going to raise my prices $5, $10. Because I've been booked 3-4 weeks and I've been booked out 90% for the last 3 to 4 weeks. Well, why don't you wait a couple months? And if you've been booked that whole time, instead of going up 10, go up 15. That extra $5 times 2,500 haircuts in a year, because we just did the math, that's an extra $12,500. That's your booth rent. That's more than your booth. That's your taxes. That extra $5. For some of y'all, what's better to open a barber school or a barber and Cosmo supply store? They're both tough businesses. They're both very non-passive, very time intensive. You got to build systems with those businesses. I would say what would be the most fulfilling out of those two for you? So I'd love to hear your thoughts on finding balance between passion and money. As a small shop owner, I'm struggling to lay out my 5-year plan. Do I want to expand and hire more people, resulting in income and client serve, but risking the reputation and quality I've built so far, or keep my shop small, finding other avenues to increase? Here's my thing. A lot of times, this right here, risking the reputation and quality I've built so far, that's a selfish thought, because you think that if something's not done the way you like it, it's not the reputation, the quality you built so far. But to me, good reputation, good quality is all I'm looking for. Whether that good quality or that good reputation is reached my way or organically because of the platform that I built and the mentorship that I've given my guys who are building that quality and reputation, to me, that's more fulfilling than me being the hub, the center of everything that gets done in that shop. To me, it's much more fulfilling to pour into the people who are going to build the reputation and the quality of that shop. It's a different mindset, and it's actually how you do business. It's the right way to do business. What a lot of barbers struggle with is getting out of that self-employed mindset and getting into that CEO mindset. It's easier to scale with that mindset, and it's way more peace of mind, way more time freedom, and way more money doing it that way. Who's gonna make more money? The guy that owns 3 barbershops that are commission-based and is there running the show, the quality and the reputation is there because they're always there running the show, or the guy who owns 100 barbershops that all have 4.5 to 5-star reviews and they're on booth rent and visits them once a year. His sole job is to be there to serve his leaders on that team. Who's gonna make more money, right? You gotta look at the big picture, guys. You gotta look at the big picture. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I will see you guys later.